Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Berserker, and what you'll see is all of his skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, his skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So, without further ado, I give you the class Berserker. Here we go. And welcome to the skills slide. If you are new to my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the far left is all of his skills. On the far right is all the specials that go with those skills. Then the column charges is how many times you can use the skill. And then hits is how many times the skill will hit a creature or opponent. And then the column damage-PVE is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And the column damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. And of course you have the passive at the bottom. So a few things to cover looking at this. One is looking over at the specials. You'll notice that everything that the Berserker does, except for Vengeful Wrath, that's his heal, will generate rage. And that rage bar is right below your health bar. It's gold. You'll see it during gameplay. The other is the in the specials, the word super armor being red. If you look at the bottom left corner, it just means it's not applied in arena. Everywhere else in the game, yes, it will work just fine, just not in arena. And if you look at the skill Vengeful Wrath, all the way over to the right in the specials, the word heals and the HP recovery is gold, because those two things don't apply when you're in Path of Glory. Everywhere else, yes, same thing for that too. And last but not least, the Vengeful Wrath heal skill is connected to your passive skill. So they go hand in hand, and I will discuss and show you more details about that in the PvP slide when we get to that. So for now, take a moment to look at everything, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the top 8 PvE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome to the PVE slide. So what I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE, from the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And the reason why there are 8 of them that are highlighted in green is because we can only take 8 skills into the world at a time. Now we do have 3 tabs where you can organize 3 tabs of 8 each, so you can switch between each one of them for different reasons, but you'll get the hang of that later on. For now, these are the 8 that I recommend, and Crushing Falcon is your highest damaging skill. And just taking a look at Berserker, very impressive. Look at that, he's got 6 skills that are over 1k percent. And the last 2, which rounds out his 8 skills, are very close to 1k as well, making almost 8 skills that are very hard hitting. That is a head turner right there. So for PvE, he definitely can really hurt the creatures of the world. And if he's on your team and helping you, you'll notice that creature going down quicker. So take a moment to look at all this, and when you're ready, we will move on to the top 8 PvP skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome to the PvP slide. So we have a lot to cover on this slide, and let's go ahead and at least knock out the basics. I have taken all the skills and organized them according to the column of damage-PVP, from the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. and Reckoning is your highest damaging skill, compared to Crushing Falcon, which was your highest damaging skill for PvE. But don't worry, it's in second, so that helps. Now, everyone always wants to know, hey, what super armor can I use in arena as well as out of arena, so I don't have to mess with what I can and can't do? And I'm pleased to tell you that Reckoning is the skill that is your highest damaging and can get your super armor out. So that is an option for you, and if you wanted to know what else you can do, it's just one other skill called Havoc Thrust. That is another option to get your super armor out, and then you can focus on higher damaging skills like Reckoning, Crushing Falcon, and Ankle Slice. So, now that that is covered, let's talk about the passive. The heal skill that you have, called Vengeful Wrath, is connected like soldered to your passive. So let's read about that. Your passive is called Unleash, and it says during your heal skill called Vengeful Wrath, when you use it and then you use any other skill 5 times, you will activate your passive for 30 seconds. That's what this means. Now, let's talk about what you get for your passive. It reduces all your skill cooldowns by 3 seconds when using a skill. You're immune to decrease attack speed when using a skill. Unleash applies even when you're falling. It increases damage to other adventurers by 10% for 30 seconds. Reduces the damage from adventurers by 20% for 30 seconds. And there's a note that using your heal skill Vengeful Wrath during the Unleash period will reset the Unleash duration. So you use your heal. It has I think a 2-minute or less. I'm not sure about that. But when you use your heal and then you kick in your passive, and while your passive is going, if you're able to do Vengeful Wrath again, you will just prolong the duration of your passive and keep it going. So it's something you'll just have to experiment with to see how you can do that for you. So now that you know what you get for your passive, all of these things are really things that are important for PvP situations. Like if you're in a guild and you're doing a guild event or against other players, or you're in an event like Battle of the Sun, your passive is tailored to those things. You're helping the other adventurers on your team. You are increasing the damage to other adventurers. You're basically a person buffing and helping yourself at the same time. So in this situation, your passive is very strong and very helpful. If you were doing PvE stuff, like if you were attacking something on your own, this passive really won't do much for you. Not really. I mean, the skill cooldowns are really nice, but this really screams team play passive. And then you have your Vengeful Wrath heal component, which heals you for 2000 HP, plus 100 attack CP for 30 seconds, increases your move speed for 30 seconds, it decreases your evasion, and again, for the team event, 50% HP recovery in arena. Sorry, that was for arena, not a team event thing. So your heal is very important when you're in arena. And what this says to me is that your heal and your passive are good for team events and PvP. So not so much for PvE, but mostly for the other things. So what we're going to do now is I want to cut to a video and show you what you're looking for when Vengeful Wrath is active, your heal, and then when the Unleash is active, and that's your passive. So give me a second, let me fire that up, and here we go. And here we are. So wanted to do something as a special treat before we get started and show you first things first. This skill in the bottom right corner is our Vengeful Wrath, and then the 3 skills that we're going to use and the Rage toggle. But before we get to that, let's activate our helmet. Isn't that cool? Okay, so the first thing we want to cover for this is your Rage toggle button. It is the icon that is like the one I just circled, orange right there. See, I'm going to tap on it to activate it or not. But the first thing we need to do is get the rage bar all the way up to 100 so it can be active. Now what I'm showing you here is that I want you to get the hang of watching the swing, how slow it is. It has kind of like a delay to it. Now what you get when your rage is all the way full and you activate it, the rage bar at the bottom will start to glow, letting you know. There'll be a visual to let you know that the rage has been activated. It looks the same as the Vengeful Wrath. And what you're getting is a little bit more move speed and a little bit more quicker animation for your skills. They just occur a lot quicker. So we're just about there. We activate it, and there it is. This will let you know that your rage bar is active, and you can see that it's consumed at the bottom. And now you'll notice that the animations go a lot quicker. So he just instantly swings, whereas before there was kind of a delay. Now what you're looking at here in this is the Unleash passive. This is what it looks like when your passive is active. It's a different visual, so you'll need to get used to both of them. So the first one again is, now this is Vengeful Wrath, and again it looks the same as your rage, but the difference is you're getting your 2000 HP heal, and you'll now see the 100 CP in blue above your CP at the bottom left corner. And of course 5 skills in, and you're activating the passive, and the passive looks different. It's like a darker flame that is going on. So that is the difference between all 3 of them. So what we're gonna do now is return back to the PvP slide. Here we go. And welcome back to the PvP slide. So now that you have a good understanding about Vengeful Wrath, your heal skill, your passive, and the buff that you can, the rage buff that you can toggle on and off, take a moment to look at everything that's here, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the skill combo slide. Here we go. And welcome to the skill combo slide. So before we explain how this screen works, allow us to tell you where you can find it. If you're in gameplay and you bring up the menu and you go over to the right hand side and tap on the tile that's called skills, and now you're on that screen, and you look to the middle and go down, you'll see a magnifying glass icon, and it will say skill combos to the right of it. You tap on that and now you bring up a small window that says list of skill combos. This is where you're at. So what I've done is I've taken the liberty to take all of that and put it on one screen. You can print this out or have it on another monitor if you're playing on an emulator and practice your Berserker. Now this is what Pearl Abyss is recommending. You can mess around with if you just don't know what to do for combos for the Berserker. Now here's how it works. On the left hand side in blue is what you would start out with the skill, and then it will chain into, and your options are in gray. So for example, at the top left corner is Havoc Thrust, and it chains into the skill Reckoning. Now I've taken the liberty of looking for a good combo for you. Now I'm not the expert, but this is an example of how you work with this. It is a 5-hit combo with chains into a repeat, so it's kind of an unlimited combo at your choice. And here's how it works. At the top left corner, you start out with the skill Havoc Thrust, then you go to Reckoning, and from Reckoning you look over to the right, you see Reckoning in blue, and then you choose that to Crimson Cyclone, and then you look at the left hand side now at the bottom, you see Crimson Cyclone, and then you choose Ankle Slice, and now we're back over to the right hand side at the top, and when you chose Ankle Slice it goes back to Reckoning, and at this moment you can go back and forth between Reckoning and Ankle Slice as many times as you want, or you can go Reckoning into Crimson Cyclone and go back and forth with Crimson Cyclone and Reckoning as much as you like. So this is just a small example of how the skill combo screen works. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we will move on to the Enhancement Slide. Here we go. And welcome to the Enhancement Slide. If you are new to this slide, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side is all of his skills. On the far right hand side is the branch damage connected to those skills. And then in the center is 4 columns. The first, second, and fourth column I make to do something for your Berserker. The third column is things that happen against the creature or player's character that you're fighting. So for example, if you look at the very first skill, Vicious Rend, and you go to the third column, if you use Vicious Rend on a player's character, it will reduce their target move speed by 10% for 10 seconds. That doesn't mean it's going to affect you, it's the creature or character that you're fighting against. Now, the very first column, you will see things like burn and flow and bleed. These things, of course, happen to the opponent or creature you're fighting, but it's kind of to organize them all in the first column. And let's see what else. If you look at the skill Crushing Falcon and you go all the way over to the right where the word heal is colored differently, that means that when you use that skill and you unlock that enhancement to heal, it'll work everywhere in the game except Path of Glory. That's why heal is colored that way, is to let you know it just won't work in Path of Glory. So now you may ask, the very first question is, what's an enhancement? And that is, if you're on the skill screen and you tap on a skill and you look to the left, you'll see the icon for the skill, and then these little circles around it, those are enhancements, and you unlock them. Some you could just pay silver, others are free to unlock, and then there's ones that have a level requirement. You'll know this because there's a little red number next to it, and don't worry, you just need skill books that drop in the world of Elion or the world of Hadum. They're skill books, and when they do, just learn it. It takes some silver to learn, but you're increasing your skill level for the skill book that it was for. And when you get, say, 2, 3, or 4 books in, chances are you will be at the level you need to pay the silver and unlock the enhancement. So be on the lookout when you're fighting creatures in the world of Elion or the treasure chests that you get in the world of Hadum for these special skill books, and learn them and watch your level grow and unlock all of these enhancements, and you will be able to truly maximize your Berserker and what he can do. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the player card. Here we go. And welcome to the player card. It is like a baseball card. It is all of the slides you saw previously all put together on one screen. If you are familiar with my character profile videos and you see a new character that came out or one that interests you, you can always come all the way to this point, print this out, take a look at it at your leisure, and then come back to this video to understand all the details about this new character. So allow me to introduce how this screen works. At the top is the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, and to the right of that is something new. It's called immobilization. Anytime that a skill stuns, knocks you down, not you, but the opponent or the creature, or you freeze them or bound, anything that you do to cause the creature or opponent to have to get up and then be ready to fight again, immobilizes your opponent. So what you're looking at is that for the Berserker, he has just about 70 to 80% of all his skills has an immobilization component to it, and it looks like Triumph is the one that has the most immobilizations. Now, to see the example, if you look down to where it says skills and you look at the third skill, which is Triumph, and all the way over to the right under specials, it'll say that when you use that skill, you get 5 rage per hit, a stun on the first hit, and a bound on the last hit. And what that means is you have 2 chances to immobilize your opponent or the creature that you're fighting. And that's what makes Triumph so important. So the more immobilizations you throw at your opponent or the creature, the higher the chance that you will get it in successfully. So as you can see, skills is below it, and below that we just talked about the enhancements, and below that is the legend for what's not applied in Path of Glory or in Arena, and at the very bottom, if you were wondering, is the definitions for forward guard and super armor. And yes, the Berserker does have a forward guard, and it is the skill Berserker's Charge. When you use it, you get 5 rage per hit, you can't be grabbed, you have a forward guard component, and a knockback on last hit. So if you're wondering, here's what forward guard means. It means that incoming damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced. Very sought after. It's a very good thing to have if you like forward guard, but everyone in the PvP world loves super armor, and the definition is right below it, and that is incoming damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc. will not happen for a duration of time. We don't know what that duration is, but the more immobilizations you get in, the chance you'll get your opponent when there's super armor runs out, and you will get that in, and you'll see them fall to the ground, and you can get an extra hit in. So this is why super armor is so coveted for people who play PvP. So this is how the player card works. Take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, the music is going to change. We're going to move on to the gameplay video where we show you what the Berserker can do. When you're ready, here we go. And welcome to the gameplay video, but before we get started, let's show you where we're at. We're over here in Balanos, and we are at Kron Castle entrance, and we're here because, well, we love it here, and their CP is 2519 and ours is 3542. He's gonna be just fine. The way this works is we will have him use this auto path, and he will fight for about 2-3 minutes, at which time we will then go back to town. I'll give my outro and say thank you. So without further ado, I am pleased to present to you Berserker. Here we go. And we are just about ready to head back to town. We'll just give it a few more swings, and there we go. So while the loading screen is coming up, allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe, like, let people know. I am always making more videos, and there is always a lot of videos to do. So what we're going to do now is put our Berserker in a pose or a position so we could display him. And that looks about, yeah, that's about right there. And let's go ahead and tap on, oops, we made him laugh. We wanted him to give a wave. There we go. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and you have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye now.